I'm going to boost your Mormon cred. Sort of. My name is Debra. I am from Ogden. Rockcliffe, 2nd Ward. Let's hear it. Don't put that in the paper. Anyway, I've been married for 17 years. I married super young, which makes me super Mormon. I have 3 kids. So I'm a mom. I think it makes me a little less Mormon that I'm a Girl Scout troop leader. But I love it. I was doing a cookie booth today. I'm a mother of 1 son who is 15 and 2 daughters who are 10 and 7. My husband and my son are at the priesthood session right now because that's where they would be any other year. Any other first weekend in April, any other first weekend in October. I'm here with their blessing and support. So let me just say that right off the top. He knows I'm here. There have been lots of historical, biblical, academic arguments made here, and I am not a church historian. I'm here for one reason, and well, 2, but one of them is sitting right back there. It's my daughters. You know how you know this isn't a church thing? There's no Kleenex. I came to the LDS church as a young girl. I grew up in a napkin. Thank you. Curse my feelings. I came to the LDS church as a young girl. I grew up in an inactive family, and when I was a teenager, I was 12, I came for girls' camp. I wanted to go camping, and you guys camp, so I was like, that's my church. I'm going to go there. I came for girls' camp, and I stayed for friendship, and then I invested because I found a testimony here. I have a loving Savior who knows my burdens, shares my sorrows and my triumphs. I have heavenly parents who made me the way they made me. I am loud and obnoxious and sometimes inappropriate most of the time, let's be honest. But I'm also caring and energetic, and everything about me is the way it's supposed to be. And from the age of 12 until today and continuing on, this gospel is real to me. It spoke to my heart then, and it still does. It is beautiful, and I love it. That does not mean that at the age of 12, everything was fine when I came to church. I've always been a little militant feminist. In 3rd grade, I refused to acknowledge that all men were created equal because I felt it was gendered. And trouble started from then and moved on. Even as a young woman, I chafed and bristled when I noticed that the young men got more attention when they went to Scouts, or that it was a big deal when they were ordained and then they could do things that I couldn't do. And I always thought, what's wrong with me that I can't do those things? I prayed to understand why I was not allowed to participate more fully in this church. But I stayed, because there's more about this church that I love than hurts me. I married young, as I mentioned before. I married a wonderful return missionary who I do not deserve, and everyone who knows me, including my mother, will tell you that. She's sitting back there. She's told me that since before we got married. We were sealed in the Salt Lake Temple, and my adult life has been filled with blessings. From my temple marriage, which I went to with one family member, I left my parents outside the building because I believe in the sealing power of the priesthood, and I wanted that for my family. From that day, oh crap, now I can't read, to the priesthood blessing my husband gave me as I knelt in a hospital room getting ready to give birth to my first child, and I was terrified, to baby blessings and baptisms, to my son's ordination. Countless father's blessings have been offered in my home, and I have sat by so proud of my husband and so grateful for the priesthood that could guide and protect my children. I honor and respect this authority to act for God on earth. I see the blessings and security of the priesthood as incredible and a privilege. I do not envy or begrudge the brothers in my church who hold it. I want to help them. I want to share it. For over 15 years, I've clung to President Gordon B. Hinckley's 1997 interview in Australia, where he was asked if women will ever have the priesthood, and he said, I don't know, they don't really want it right now. I'm paraphrasing. I'm sure that's not the way he really put it, but he did say, revelation could come, but there hasn't been agitation for it, so we haven't really asked. I have held on to those words like a life jacket, waiting and waiting. And then one day I saw your website and I was like, oh, those are my people. Because for so long I participated in hushed conversations in the hallways of the church. No one was going to admit it out loud, but if you knew somebody really well and you visit Totter for like 6 years, you could admit that this was something you wanted. And then there were all the jokes that weren't really funny about when a woman was going to be bishop. It was too controversial, and if you actually talked about it in seriousness, you were branded an apostate, which is the worst label a Mormon can wear. I didn't add my name and face to this campaign lightly. I pondered it. I discussed it with my husband. I believe what I said was, you know, I'm not going to let you boss me around, but I want to do this, so what do you think? We talked about it, and I wrote my profile carefully and edited it a whole bunch to make sure that it was loving and respectful. The thing that convinced me to do it was my daughters. They are 7 and 10, and they're sad because they won't get to serve in the way their brother serves. I think they're just as capable of walking up the street and complaining the entire time that they have to collect fast offerings. I think they can look just as shabby in an unironed whatever as they pass the sacrament. And I think they are bright and strong and loving and would make amazing leaders and could do great things for their ward or stake. Ordain Women is an answer to years of prayer for me, of longing and waiting. It is a chance to openly discuss something that I do not believe should be taboo. It is a chance to discuss it with other faithful members, to declare our love for the gospel and the leaders of this church, and I openly declare that now. I sustain President Monson. I sustain his counselors. I love them and I appreciate all they do, but this is my chance to declare that I am ready. I'm ready for the conversation to start. I'm ready for the preparation to begin. I'm ready for the brethren to ask. And I'm ready for worthy sisters to serve. I'm here because I am a Mormon. And I believe in ordaining women.